Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Currently, a very dangerous situation is unfolding right now in north central Louisiana, west central Mississippi, and southern Arkansas. Already, there have been a history of tornadoes in Louisiana and in Texas, and just around noon, I was tracking a very dangerous tornado that was passing through Franklin, Texas. When I was outside, I was on my phone, and there was a tornado with a debris signature. And there was a cell with a debris signature that passed right over Franklin, Texas. And I was hoping and praying that the tornado had lifted before it hit the town, but unfortunately, that was not the case. And the town was hit very hard by what appears to be a strong tornado, at least strong EF2, weak EF3, might even be stronger. These are just a few of the pictures that are coming in right now from Franklin, Texas. This is some of the pictures that are coming in from Franklin at the moment, and the devastation looks almost complete. I mean, some of those houses, were unscathed, but this home was completely devastated. Yeah, this just looks tragic. This just breaks my heart to see this. Please join me in a moment of silence for the people of Franklin, Texas, and for areas. Please join me in a moment of silence for the people of Franklin, Texas, and for. Please join me in a moment of silence for the people of Franklin, Texas, and everyone impacted by today's severe weather event. Please join me for a moment of silence for the people of Franklin, Texas, and everyone who was impacted by today's severe weather outbreak. Please join me for a moment of silence for the people. Please join me for a moment of silence for the people of Franklin, Texas, and everyone impacted by today's severe weather outbreak. Please join me for a moment of. Please join me. Please join me for a moment of silence for the people of Franklin, Texas, and everyone impacted by today's severe weather outbreak. Please join me for a moment of. Please join me for a moment of silence for the people of Franklin, Texas, and everyone impacted by today's severe weather outbreak. Thank you so much. And it's not only Franklin, Texas that got hit by a tornado today. Today, there have been several areas hit by tornadoes in Louisiana as well. In fact, there is this one cell that just caused some pretty bad devastation just to the southwest of. Thank you for. Thank you. Please join me for a moment of silence for the people of Franklin, Texas, and for everyone impacted by today's severe weather outbreak. Thank you so much. And it's not just the people of Franklin, Texas, but unfortunately, there have been several tornadoes today in Louisiana. And one hit just to the northwest of Newellton, Louisiana. It started from the southwest of Newellton, passed just west of Newellton, and lifted just after it passed to the north of Newellton, Louisiana. And it had a potentially dangerous situation tornado warning on it. And the tornado was most likely a wedge tornado based on the warning that was issued. And that tornado might have caused significant damage to the rural communities of eastern Louisiana. The cell right now that caused all that destruction is now in has now just entered eastern, and that cell that has caused all that destruction in eastern parts of rural Louisiana is now just crossed into western Mississippi. And looking on the velocity index, the velocities have definitely decreased from what they were just a couple of hours ago, from what they were just about an hour ago. That's the good news. The velocities has definitely decreased. So this is what it looks like right now. And it appears to be that there might be another circulation developing right over here. There's a new circulation developing just north of St. Joseph. And also in Alabama, there is a cell, there are several cells southwest of Birmingham that have some rotation with it. There are those supercells right there. These are supercells. Don't get me wrong. These are rotating thunderstorms, though they're not severe at the moment. They're non-warned yet, but they do have some rotation with them. I'm going to show you right now. These are one of the cells. There we go. That cell right over there is this cell right here. That is just west of Tuscaloosa. And there's several cells that are firing up that are moving south to north. The reason they're rotating is because there's southwest winds aloft. The winds are a little bit more out of the southwest than the south. You're having southerly surface winds and southwest winds aloft, and that's causing some rotation. So, yep. So the rotation, new little loop came in. The rotation is decreasing. This is definitely not, looking to be tornadic at the moment, but there is rotation with this storm. And looking at the dual polarization radar, see if there's any debris with this. Probably not. I'm just going to check just to make sure. And it looks like it's still loading for a bit, but I believe there's no debris with this. Yes, there is no debris with this storm. That's the good news. While these are rotating, there is no tornadoes with these storms yet. And hopefully it will stay that way. Hopefully none of these will produce a tornado. And if they do, hopefully they'll stay over rural areas. Yep. No warnings are in effect for these cells at the moment. So 2 of these cells have some rotation with them at the moment. This cell has some rotation with it right here, and so does this one. So there's currently 2 cells, and actually this cell right here has a pretty tight couplet. Let me try to zoom in on that. It's not very dangerous tight. It's not dangerously tight yet. There it is right over there. There's a couplet. So there's 2 couplets on this loop. Actually, I don't think that's a couplet. No, there is a couplet right over there. Trying to zoom in. There we go. There's a couplet. There it is right over there. That is for that cell right here. Okay, my friend just told me there's a tornado near Vicksburg. I know, it lifted back up. Okay, so these are there's some discrete supercells right here in western Alabama right now. These are what you call discrete supercells. I mean, these ones are not discrete, but this one here is discrete. This one here is a little isolated, so it's isolated right now. So this is definitely a low precipitation supercell, or at least it's not a very big one. See, even the anvils are even blowing off here. You could tell. And these storms are tall and they're very small. So, I mean, any of these cells, if they get big enough, can definitely produce a tornado because the environment is very conducive for that today. Just hopefully, they won't get any stronger because these are more low. These are like low top supercells, I believe. Try to look at echo tops. Just don't know if. Let's look at vertically integrated liquid. There we go. So so these are definitely low tops. These storms are not high like this. So these are low top supercells at the moment. So these are 1 kilogram per meter squared. So this is how far up the updrafts are moving. No, echo tops. This is what actually I want to look at. Echo tops. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, there's some high top storms approaching from the west. Yep. So these cells in Alabama right now are non-severe. Though they're rotating, there are supercells, but they're non-severe supercells. It's good news for now. Now I'm going to go back to the Jackson, Mississippi radar. Just going to see what's going on because my friends told me there's a tornado. I think someone's mentioned in my group there's a tornado near Vicksburg, but I think that that they think there's one. Make sure. Let me go back to the Jackson radar. No, the rotation way, I think. Oh wow. Actually, yeah, there looks like there's another. Yeah, actually, possibility of another one. Look at that. This one could definitely rotate. This is the second cell that's actually behind the one that had the tornado. So this is a new cell now. This is now a new cell, right over there. That's a new cell actually. Try to take the severe off. Let's look at velocities again. Yeah, it looks like there's another couplet. There we go. Let me look at the debris signatures right now. Looking at correlation coefficient, no debris with either cell. That's the good news. Tornadoes have lifted back up. There's no tornadoes with either cell at the moment. That's the good news. Hopefully it will stay that way. So the good news is that the debris signature is non-existent right now. In fact, these are actually squall lines. This is a squall line coming in. So this is more of a, sometimes you could get spin-ups on squall lines. So this is the type of tornadoes you'll be getting. Usually those don't get very strong, but in some cases they can, especially if the helicity is high enough. Sometimes even in squall lines, you could get embedded supercells. Yep. Alrighty. I'm gonna pause the video and I'm thinking about live streaming this. Sometimes I have trouble with live streaming because of I don't have streaming keys or anything like that. So I'm gonna try uploading this. Thank you for watching, and I'll make another video shortly.